Jenny, do you know what 4 gallons of hypodermic needles and Sunday school children have in common?
I have no idea.
We're going to find out. Four gallons of hypodermic needles.
That's a lot of needles.
It's a lot of needles. It's a lot of needles. It's actually the amount of needles that was taken from a future church building.
Wow.
And so our future church plant was, when we got there, they took out 4 gallons of just hypodermic needles.
Wow, that's crazy.
And other than that, they took out 7 5-ton trucks of just garbage, because this building was empty, and so that people, instead of walking to the dumpster, would just throw their garbage in through the windows.
That is insane.
It's insane. Yeah, and that's not to talk about the building materials that they took out. There was many trucks, 20, 30 trucks that they took out. So.
Wow.
But we're here talking to you today about Rakhovka Evangelical Church, which is in Kremenchuk, Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And Rakhovka was our very first church plant that we were involved in. Now, we didn't start this church plant. Mm-hmm. It was started a few years before we arrived.
Right.
But we were part of the growth process and building of this building. And today I have with us here 2 guests. We're gonna drink a little coffee with them, and we're gonna share some interesting desserts. We have Anatoli and Anya. Anatoli is the new pastor of Rakhovka Evangelical Church, and was instrumental in the building and reconstruction process of this building. And Anya is his wife and Sunday school teacher. That's where the Sunday school children come in place of the hypodermic needles. So, tell me a little bit about how you got to know Rakhovka as an organization or a church plant before it was really a church. How did you get to know them?
Ну, все началось с семейного лагеря. И после семейного лагеря организовался клуб, семейный клуб, который хотел просто наладить отношения хорошие в своих семьях.
Okay. So everything started from a family camp that was put on by some missionaries, and after that there was like this family club where they got together and they were able to meet other families.
Но неверующие удивлялись, почему у христиан такие хорошие семьи.
А в этом время ты был верующий?
Да, я уже был верующим.
Сколько лет ты был верующим?
2.
Okay, so you were a believer for 2 years, and in that group, so it was you as a believer, and then lots of unbelievers. И в этом группе был вы и много неверующих, да?
Да.
Да. Okay.
И естественно, что неверующие начали интересоваться христианством, начали искать Христа.
And so these unbelievers were in this small group, and they started to seek Christ.
Естественно, если ты начинаешь искать Христа, ты начинаешь читать Библию. Если ты читаешь Библию, ты становишься христианином. Если ты становишься христианином, тебе нужна церковь.
Okay. So it's only natural to expect that if somebody starts to become interested in Christ, like these people were, that they would start to read their Bible. And if they start to read the Bible, they start to become Christians. And if they become Christians, they start to seek a church. So you had this need for a church, and so from that Rakhovka Evangelical started. Из-за этого Rakhovska Евангельская церковь начинала, да?
Создалась церковь, но церковь нуждается в своем здании, в своем доме, в доме молитвы. И мы нашли очень старое, разбитое здание, которое уже 20 лет стояло сгоревшим, купили его и начали большую стройку.
Okay. So, of course, a church needs a home, a place to be, a place of prayer. We say a house of prayer. And so we started to look for buildings, and the building we found was an old, burnt-out, это двухэтажный, 2-floor building that was a Soviet like bathhouse. And so we bought the building, and we started doing repair works on it.
Но это здание превратилось в дом для бомжей и для наркоманов.
This building, after it had the fire, had become a place for homeless people and for drug addicts, and just kind of a place where they went to spend the night. and also it was like a dumpster for everybody else in the neighborhood. И тоже был мусоркой для всех,
Да,
которые жили там.
сначала надо было просто вывести мусор. И мы вывезли чистого мусора 7 грузовиков больших, 5-тонных, а потом еще 30 машин строительного мусора.
So, and it was, the first thing we had to do was just get rid of all the garbage, and we had 7 trucks, 7 5-ton trucks of just human garbage from the surrounding apartments, and then about 30 tons of building material.
И вот как раз тогда я лично собрал целое ведро шприцов, оставленных наркоманами, для того, чтобы показать, вот, куда мы вселились.
So, and it was at that time that we just started gathering together all these hypodermic needles, just so we could kind of see how much was actually there, and how we found out that there were so many.
Да, даже было так, что мы уже тут работаем в этом здании, а наркоманы по старой памяти прибегают и хотят сделать укол.
So we were like working, we were doing the remodeling on the building and working inside the building, and there were drug addicts that kept coming to the building so that they could shoot up. And of course these Christians are here working on
Они
this
видят
building.
христиане, говорят: ой, извините, мы не хотели.
And so they would like walk up to go there to shoot up, and they'd be like, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to bother you.
Да, ну, прошло 10.
Наши вежливые наркоманы. We have very polite drug addicts.
Но пришлось, церковь была маленькая, мы 10 лет строили это здание.
So we worked on this building for 10 years. We're a small church. А сколько людей в нашем церкви сейчас?
Сейчас 60 членов церкви, и приходят на служение еще где-то человек 20-30, ну до 100 человек бывает на служении.
Okay, so we have about 60 people who are actual members, and then on a average Sunday morning we have somewhere between 70 and 100 people in the church service. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jenny.
Yes.
You can't just sit here and be quiet. You can't just sit there and look pretty. You got to do something. No, so maybe you have some questions for Anya.
So you guys are a fairly new pastoral couple, and I'm interested to know how your lives have changed and how your home life especially has changed because of that.
Ну, график поменялся, меньше свободного времени, больше занятости, меньше видимся.
So definitely our schedule changed. We don't see each other as often. We don't have as much free time together, not as much family time together. What is your favorite thing about Rakovka Church?
Самое лучшее качество. У нас много детей, мы очень много занимаемся детьми. Это то, что я люблю сама делать.
So her favorite thing about the church is that there's a lot of kids, and she really likes working with the kids. She heads up a couple of different Sunday school and child outreach programs, so she really likes that part of our church.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions for her?
Would she like to eat pumpkin pie?
Ты хочешь кушать торт? Okay. So usually on these videos we show you guys Ukrainian food, and we eat Ukrainian food. Today we're actually going to eat some American food. So we're going to have pumpkin pie. You want to cut it up there, Jenny? Sure. While I ask Tolik a few more questions. Tell me, Tolik, твои будущие планы для компаса, для церкви и все этого. So tell me a little bit about your future plans, your strategies for Compass and for Rakovka. If you don't know, Compass is our church plant that Jenny and I work on together with Anya and Tolik. They're one of our partners, and so that's very close to both of our hearts. Working in this evangelistic area. So скажи мне немножко об этом, о твои будущие планы.
Ну, мои мечты о Раковке это чтобы церковь росла, чтобы в ней было 300 человек. И мы целенаправленно работаем с молодежью и с детьми.
So my desire for Rakovka is, of course, that it would grow in number, that there would be roughly about 300 people on a Sunday. And that we would be really working in the directions of young people and children.
Да, нас окружает музыкальная школа, средняя школа,
We have the
ПТУ.
musical school next to us. We have a like a community college next to us.
И мы очень большой акцент делаем именно на работу со студентами и со школьниками.
And right now we have a really big focus on working with children and working with students, college-age students and things like that.
Ну и естественно, что домашние маленькие группы работают во всей церкви.
And of course our church is really focused on small groups, so we want to make sure our small groups are strong.
Насчет компаса.
And about Compass, what can I say?
Компас это наша маленькая любовь.
And Compass is our little
Большими
love,
надеждами.
Да, с большими надеждами.
with great hopes and desires.
Мы мечтаем, чтобы компас стал большой самостоятельной церковью.
And our dream is that Compass would become a large, stable church.
Да. Ну, естественно, что для этого нужно и много работать с людьми, но в то же время нужно свое место, свое гнездо, свое здание.
Uh-huh. And for that to work properly, we need not only to do evangelism to reach people, but we also need to find our own place, our own leaders. Right now we're using a lot of people and places from other churches, and it needs to become stable on its own, so we're trying to work toward that. So it's time for it to grow, and it's time for it to become self-sufficient. Скажи мне о вашей семье. Какая семья у вас? What kind of family do you have? Tell us a little bit about your family. Anya. Your family.
Моя семья состоит из муж Анатолий, дочка Лана,
Uh-huh.
она уже взрослая в другой церкви в другом городе. И сын у нас 9 лет.
У нас есть
Школу,
внук.
в школу ходит, внучок.
Uh-huh. So she has a daughter. They have a daughter, Lana. Who? Сколько лет ей?
22.
22. Это
22.
22 years old. Это будет ей мучить, что мы сказали это на видео. Она 22. Ей 22, и потом есть внук, который год.
Вот.
And they also have a grandchild who's a year old, and then they have a little boy who's 9 years old, Arseny. And Arseny's a cool little guy, so we enjoy him. Okay, great. Well, let's. The pie is out here. Let's go ahead and dig in. Давай покушаем.
Да?
Давай.
На здоровье.
На здоровье.
To your
Приятного
health.
аппетита.
Бог этого благословит. This is... Вы кушали наши тыквенные торты раньше? Вы кушали тыквенные
Сейчас
торты?
попробую.
Нет,
Нет?
Первый
It's
раз.
the first time they've tried pumpkin pie. Представляешь,
Seems to be
Я должен сделать так?
Ну, можно.
вкусно.
So, for you Americans, why this is special that we're eating pumpkin pie is because we don't have like pumpkin in a can like they have in America. We have to go and cut the pumpkin, cook it in the oven, dig it out. I shouldn't say we. I don't do anything. I'm lazy when it comes to the kitchen. Jenny does it all. But and then you have to put the appropriate spices in, and it's just a lot of work.
Well, and people here don't make desserts with pumpkin. Like they cube it up and bake it and eat it like a vegetable, but they don't bake with it at all. And so I've made several desserts out of pumpkin, and people question me, why would you do that? But then when they try it, they always enjoy it.
Мы сделали несколько десертов из тыквы, и люди так просят, а зачем? Это овощи. Ну,
Yeah,
конечно,
they look
когда...
at it as a vegetable. So
Не, у нас делают кое-что из тыквы, но так как у тебя не получается, нет такого вкуса.
We also do things from pumpkin, but it doesn't taste anything like this. I should mention that Tolik is not only the pastor of the church. He and I work on a lot of evangelistic outreaches, English clubs, and of course Compass, and family camps, and English evangelism camps, and children's camps. So we've been working together for a long time, and so I really just want to thank you guys for your heart for God and your willingness to serve. With that, to the churches back in America and to anybody else who's watching this, I'll say До побачення.
Пока!
До побачення.